Good day, gamers. Fortane here, and welcome to episode 20 of Minecraft, the Betweenlands. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well. First off, apologies for missing what would have been not last week, but the previous week's episode. I'm actually recording this on the same day that I'm uploading episode 19. Unfortunately, when I was trying to edit episode 19, there was regrettably a kind of a national issue with the program that I use to edit videos. It wasn't just me who was having an issue. There's a ton of people who were having issue with said program where the program just was not loading no matter what you did to it. So unfortunately that made it so I could not edit to upload the week before's episode. So yeah, episode 19 is coming out today, the day that I am recording this, and then next week, which will be this week for you all, will be episode 20. But yeah, so apologies for missing a week. I am working on trying to have better ways of not exactly getting a buffer per se, but making it so I've got something that I can upload if I have to miss a week like that. It's in progress. But yes, welcome back to Escape the Betweenlands. Today we're going to be doing a lot more brewing out of different aspects because there's a lot to do. We're going to be doing a lot more gecko testing because I have a lot more of the ground items that I need to test. And then at the end, we're going to head out to that deep ocean type area. Because I actually found while I was out there just scouting around for different organics, I actually found some barnacles. I have not harvested them. I have not interacted with them yet. But I just happened to see them on a side of a rock out there. I'm like, oh, it's barnacles. I need those. I need those to be able to do certain things. So I wanted to show off me going out and come on, can I get this? Going, got it. I wanted to show off me going out there and like harvesting them and interacting with them for the first time. Again, have not touched them. I just happened to notice that they were out there. I'm like, yes, I will go out next time I make an episode and we'll harvest them, get the drops from them, play around with them, so on. But today, like I said, we've got a lot of brewing to do. We've got a lot of testing to do. So let's get started. So first thing I wanted to do is, remember last time I was saying that I know we can combine these bottles together. I just didn't want to accidentally like start throwing them, because with the completed potions, if you hold shift and right click, you can actually toss the potion like you would a vanilla splash potion. To place them on the ground to combine the bottles, you simply shift and then right click. There we go. So that puts the bottle on the ground. You got Azuin 1.42, and then you just right click to move the contents from one bottle to the next. So you can use this process to concentrate all of your stuff into one bottle. The bottles that had the aspects in them are still considered clean, so you don't have to clean them out. And then to break the bottle, you can simply do that. It doesn't take a tool, but this is a way to concentrate material into one bottle, as well as, just easier storage. Each bottle can hold up to 5.0 of a specific aspect. So we'll be able to fill up some bottles, honestly, pretty quickly, depending on how much of the individual aspect we get per brewing. Some of them will only give very tiny amounts, so we're going to have to brew out quite a lot of said material to get a full bottle or two of aspect. I'd like to have at least probably 2 bottles of full aspect for each aspect, just to be able to play around with, because it's gonna be a good while until I can start working with the 58%, And it's going to be a while before I can start working with the aspect fruit, which is the much easier and more plentiful way of getting a ton of aspects. Right now, the plants is really the only way that I have. So I want to make sure... Are you going to come be a butt? You are. That's fine. So the plants are going to be really the only way I have to access the aspects. So I want to keep a good ready stock of them for whatever brewing I want to do. But right now we have Azuin, we have Biaris, and we have Yeowin, and we have plenty of green vials to play around with. So taking a look at our ground aspects, Azuin, Yeowin, and Biaris. I think we already did Azuin, Biaris, and Yeowin. Let's go down the list here. This has Fergalaz and Unugaz. I am going to butcher some of these names. I do apologize. So if I happen to kind of muddle through some of these names, some of them, they're a little wonky. But basically what I'm planning on doing is I will brew out one set of aspects at a time, or at least one set's best way to describe that. I don't want to brew out a ton of the same aspect on camera. If you see me brew out one aspect, one dosage, one brewing of that aspect, don't have to keep doing that specific one. But I want to try and get an amount of each aspect on camera. So as I'm doing the gecko testing, I will brew out a full 6 of a ground material that will get me the aspect I need from that material to show off the first time getting it. And then if I need more, or when I need more, I'll just brew it out on off camera. You all don't have to sit and watch the process. But I am going to be doing a lot of the gecko testing while this stuff is brewing, because the brewing does take a bit. So, as we saw, the ground angler's tooth gives Fergalaz and Unugaz. So let's go ahead and get that started brewing. We are going to take our 3 buckets of weedwood buckets of swamp water. We're going to put them into the infuser. We're going to put the material into the infuser, and then once it starts bubbling, we're going to wait for the little smoke plume, poof, to come out. That means that all of the aspects have brewed completely into the infusions. We bucket those out, put them into the alembics, and then do gecko testing in the meantime. So 1, 2, and 3. Once again, the infuser can hold up to 3 buckets of liquid and up to 6 individual items. We'll give that a stir just to start. And again, we're waiting for this to start bubbling, and then it will change color with a big smoke poof, as we saw last time, to indicate that the aspect itself is ready to be bucketed out. We have the life crystal up top, so it will continue to stir it as needed. If you don't stir it like every 30 seconds or have a life crystal to automate the stirring, it will boil away 1 bucket of liquid and a shallow breath will spawn. Which is especially bad because if you have a brew in there that is actually creating a potion, I believe the shallow breath that is spawned will be imbued with said potion effect, which is not good. We don't want that to happen. So taking a look here at our ingredients, we still got to go through. The first one we're going to do is Arrow Arum, and then the Bladderwort Flower. We've already done the Bladderwort Stalk, but we needed more Bladderwort Flowers. Okay. So this is now showing a nice green, which means it's bubbling. Give it just a second. Still stirring. Poof. There we go. So, bloop, bloop, and bloop. As we see, the infusion time is still 0 seconds because this is not creating an actual potion. It is simply brewing out the aspects. We saw the purple, which means it is ready to go. We'll put these into the alembics and get that going. Let's check our ground items. I did off camera, go out and about, grabbing, like I said, a bunch more, grabbing a bunch more organics. So we got the bladderwort flower here. We have our book. Let's go ahead and test this on the gecko cages. Belly rumbling. Oh, that's it. And glowing scales. All right. So that means this has Ordonis and Selwyn. Very nice. And that also means that the bladderwort flower is done. Let me grab some arrow arum. So we have the bladderwort stalk. We have the bladderwort flower. I know I have some arrow. There it is. Arrow arum. Let's go ahead and test this. Let's see. Belly rumbling. And glowing slightly. All right. Arrow arum is done. So that means arrow arum has Ordonis and Selwyn. Okay. So yeah, the same thing as the bladderwort flower. Yep, Ordonis and Selwyn. Now, as you can see, the amount of Ordonis and Selwyn is much different compared to the two ingredients. So, for example, yeah, the arrow arum is essentially just a stronger version, or at the very least component-wise, is a stronger version of the bladderwort flower. Now, does that mean one is better than another? No. It just means that you can get more material from that specific ingredient. I'm still going to use a lot of the different ingredients that I find, a lot of the different ground ingredients, to get the different aspects, because sometimes one will just be easier to find than another. Excuse me a second. There we go. Sorry about that. Little cough. Okay, next up, we've got ground broom's edge. Go ahead and grab that, which we should have. I kind of had these in alphabetical order, then kind of didn't. But that's okay. Ground broom's edge. Muscles twitching. Glowing slightly. And healthier gecko. It's bursting with energy. So nice. Broom's edge has Ordonis, Aswin, and Yeowin. Perfect. Broom's edge is going to go right after bottle brush here. There's bottle brush grass. There's a broom's edge. And we'll take a look at the next one. Button bush and cardinal flower. I only have a tiny bit of cardinal flower. Cardinal flower is still a little hard to find. I should have some button bush. There it is. Our limbics are still going strong, so we'll wait till that finishes. All right. Let's test out our button bush. Nope. Possessed poor gecko. I kind of wish that instead of testing on the geckos, you could test it on yourself. You know, kind of like how you have Skyrim, where you eat a little bit of a, you eat an alchemy ingredient and you get a minor effect of that alchemy ingredient to learn it. I'd kind of rather do that to myself than testing on the geckos personally, but, oh well, such is the mod pack. One of the geckos has disappeared, so we'll have to pop a new gecko in there. But now our button bush has Yeowin, Byaris, quite a lot of Byaris too at 1.0, and Selwyn. Okay. So, button bush goes right after the bulb cap. And like I said, our aspects are done in the alembic, so let's get what we can. So 2 aspects per. There we go. So we got Unigaz and Fergalaz. We actually got a lot from each one. 4.14, 4.14 in 3 bottles, and then 3.57 in 3 bottles. So that's awesome. So let's go ahead and fill up the first bottle. There we go. Like I said, the bottle can only hold up to 5.0. So that is our first full bottle of anything. And then fill up the second bottle. There we go. So now we have 2 full 5.0 bottles of Unigaz and then a partial of Unigaz. So for the right now, I don't have to brew anything that has Unigaz in it. We can go ahead and put that away. Let's put the Unigaz right here. These are going to be reorganized as I get the different aspects. But for right now, I'm kind of trying to put them in alphabetical order. Then we got the Firgalaz. Go ahead and fill up that bottle. There we go. 1 full bottle of Firgalaz. And we'll top off this other one. There we go. 2 full bottles of Firgalaz. And a partial. We'll go over here. We will put away our 2 full bottles and our partial. Okay. So Azawin, we don't have any full bottles of Azawin, Biaris, or Yeowin yet, but I've already brewed those out. So let's see. Anything else new? Bjornagaz. I don't have any. I have Biaris, but not Bjornagaz. Bjornagaz is coming from water. That's the Aqua Middle Gem. Well, we have plenty of Aqua Middle Gem ores. So let's go ahead and purify this. Boop. We'll work on the next bit of gecko testing while this is purified. We'll purify it, crush it, put it in the infuser, and then get some aspects out of it. While that's working on that, let's check our book. I am intentionally skipping ground cardinal flower for right now, again, because I have very little of it. I have enough to do the gecko testing, but we'll save it for a bit. Ground cattail, got plenty. Let's do our testing here. Let's see what we get. Chewing furiously, glowing slightly, and healthier gecko. Nice. So ground cattail has Ordonis, Yeowin, and Biaris. You'll notice that a lot of things have like a common set of aspects to them. It's not something you can choose. It's randomly distributed throughout all the ingredients based on your world seed. So it's not something you can predict, like this material is always going to have this. This material is always going to have this. So let's see. Button bush, cardinal flower, cattail. So the button bush, cardinal flower, and cattail is going to go right there. I do have 7 cardinal flowers. I'm going to hold on to 1 so we don't keep skipping it. Let's actually go out and break apart these cardinal flowers into their component. That way we can actually do the gecko testing with them. Something I was planning on doing in today's episode anyway was starting up some farming, so it's not a big deal. I just mainly want to make sure that I have 1 of each plant. That way I can guarantee that I can start farming it. There we go. So I have 6 cardinal flower petals. We have our aqua middle gem and we have our cardinal flower petals. I don't need the sickle at the moment. Let's go ahead and crush this up. I can, of course, automate this with the life crystal, but I'm kind of saving the life crystal more to automate the infuser. just to make sure I don't let the mixture in there evaporate. I'd rather do that than have it like just automatically crush this stuff for me. I can crush it manually. Again, I'm very much at the point where I need to be constantly getting like white hearts to be able to keep restoring the durability on my life crystals. And I have been not finding very many white hearts, regretfully. So it's all right. It happens. There we go. Okay, I should be able to combine these two pestles together. Yep, there we go. Keep that durability going. All right, back to it. We have our ground cardinal flower. Let's do our testing. Oh, just one thing. Okay, never mind. That makes it easy. Very calm and looks at you with loving eyes. So it has, let's see, Armanis Desire. I don't remember that one being in the game previously, but hey, you know, it's there. So we don't have to worry about it. I do have 6 of the ground cardinal flowers. I will wait until I have more before actively like brewing them out. So something is it one of the flying guys? Ow. Oh, it's a shallow breath. I'm like, I see the thank you. I see the red dot. I see it's at the same height I'm at. Where is it? Okay, there we go. All right, so we are gonna do our ground aqua middle gem. So 1, 2, 3 buckets. We got 1, 2, and 3 buckets. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aqua middle gems. Give it a stir just to get it going. And we'll continue on. Next thing in our herb lore book is ground cave moss. We've seen cave moss many a time. Let's see. There we go. There's our ground cave moss. Yeah, we've seen cave moss several times going out into like the underground areas, the mining areas that I've been mining out, things like that. So we'll do our gecko testing. Twitching uncontrollably, belly rumbling, and healthier gecko. Nice. So this is done. Okay. Let's grab our buckets real quick because that's about to finish brewing out. Waiting for the purple. Bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah, because it's just staying from green, which means it is at temperature, going straight to this purple. That means, once again, that you're not getting any actual potions out of it. You're just getting the aspects. So, aspect, aspect, and aspect. All right. Those are bubbling away. And you can see with the amount of time it took for the first set of alembics to finish brewing the aspects out, you can see why I said this is one of those times where I've got no problem making like 9 alembics and just having them all be brewing at the same time, just to constantly be cranking out certain aspects. But in any event, we got our cave moss. It's going to go right before the copper iris. Let's see, cattail. Let's see, cattail, cave moss. Oh, cave grass and cave moss. That's right. There's our cave grass. There's our cave moss. Cattail, cave grass, cave moss, copper iris. Next thing we've got crimson middle gem. And then we can actually start grinding some of those crimson snail shells that we've been killing all the red snails. We've actually found a red snail spawner, which is kind of odd, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so crimson middle gem and crimson snail shell. Easily done. Let's see. Let's do 8 crimson middle gems for right now. Go ahead and get that going. Let's add another bucket or 2 of water into the purifier just to make sure it doesn't run out. Oop, there we go. And then we will take our mob drops. Yes. Let's do 8 for right now. Our crimson snail shells. Give them a good grinding. And then do our gecko testing with them. So the main reason I'm doing this is there's a few reasons actually. With the ability to go ahead and pretty confidently, not fully confidently, but pretty confidently conquer Crag Rock Tower, I need to start making more progress towards the different dungeons. The Crag Rock Tower. I need to be able to do the White Fortress. I need to be able to get towards doing the Sludgeons, and the Spirit Tree. There's definitely a few more dungeons, few more bosses that I need to be able to start progressing towards. I also need a bit more Valenite to make my last piece of Valenite armor. I'm going to need more Valenites to be able to make the enchanting table. Plus, I also want a set of Valenite tools and stuff. The easiest way for me to get Valenite right now, beyond simply mining, which I've been doing hours upon hours of mining with little to no luck, is to be doing the easier dungeons, the Crag Rock Towers, the Pots of Chance, and so on, to try and get Valenite. If I can squeak by into like the White Fortress, if I'm very careful, I can start popping some of the Pots of Chance in there to try and get Valenite, but that's a bit more of a dangerous proposition. So Pots of Chance, Crag Rock Towers are going to be my best bets. I want to try and start having some potions to bring along for night vision, for resistance, for regen, for saturation regen, just to make those dungeons easier, especially if I try and start taking on the White Fortress. But let's go ahead and do our Crimson Snail Shell. Let's see, Drunkard. Yep, that was easy. Okay, Light, and its breath sounds like a hollow wind. Okay, so we're gonna Copper Iris, skip 1, Crimson Snail Shell. Oh, I had the... There it is. So it should be Cattail, Cave Grass, Cattail, Cave, Copper. Yep, Cattail, Cave Grass, Copper. And then skip 1, Crimson Snail Shell. Okay, there we go. Our limbics are done, so we'll get our materials from them. So 2 aspects from each. Very nice. What do we got? We have a full bottle of Biergras and a partial bottle of 4.04. Yeah, so we have 3 full bottles 5.0 from just that one material, and then 3 partial bottles of 0.04. Okay, we're not going to need to brew any more of this stuff. So this drops down 1. BYRG. BYAR. Yep, that's good. There's our 5.0s, and then we'll combine our 0.04s into one bottle. Bloop and bloop. There we go. Perfect. That is that one. Very fully brewed out. Okay. We have our Crimson Middle Gem. Let's go ahead and grind this up, and then we'll do our next infusion brewing. But yeah, this kind of stuff I don't mind doing off camera, especially if I've shown it off the first time, because it's just sitting here with a mortar and pestle, left clicking on it every, you know, what, 5-10 seconds to grind the stuff up. Y'all don't want to see that, you know, more than a few times, so I show it once per ingredient and call it done. Here we go. We move on. Same thing with the alembics. If you see me brew one specific aspect out, no reason to keep doing that just on camera. Crimson Middle Gem, let's go. Oh, just one material. Okay, that works. You have Fiernalos, fire. I don't think I have any Fiernalos. I have Fergalos, which is earth. I don't have any Fiernalos, which is fire. So let's go ahead. Why not? We'll go ahead and do that as our next brewing. So get that. We got 1, 2, and 3. Give it a stir because we can. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give it another stir. Okay. So we have our ground crimson middle gem. While we wait for this to finish up, we'll continue checking our herb lore book. Let's see. Cryptweed and deep water coral. I don't think I have any or much cryptweed. Mainly because cryptweed, that is something I'm going to need there. Cryptweed, if I remember correctly, is mostly in the sludgeon. We'll wait here for just a second because that's going to finish bubbling. Again, with making progress, there are a lot of there's a lot of ingredients that you can only get in the sludgeon. So I need to beat the other dungeons to be able to get access to the sludgeon. And then I need to go into the sludgeon for a while to be able to get all of the ingredients. Sludge creep is possible to find in the kind of slimy biome, which we've gotten that. But if we take a look at the listing, so cryptweed, let's see some of the other ones. Rot bulb. Nope, string root is good. Yeah, edge shroom is technically found within the sludgeon. There's 1 or 2 more, but that are once again pretty much only found in the sludgeon. So I need to progress to that. Once I can get in there, then I'll be able to collect those materials. Okay, alembics are going. Let's see, deep water coral. We saw the deep water coral when we were out going into that kind of deep ocean area where we found the barnacles last time. So let's test our deep water coral. Oh, just one thing. Okay, that works. Looks like a drunkard. Okay, so that means you have the Eunice mind. So crimson, we are skipping one for the cryptweed. Deep water coral. So we got that. Next up in our testing is dried swamp reed. Well, we have a ton of that, so that's easy to do. This is also the kind of fertilizer of this mod. Let's see, belly rumbling. Glowing slightly. And healthier gecko. It's bursting with energy. So, again, Ordonis, Yeowin, and Selowin. Perfect. Put that away in our ground items. What do we got next? Edge leaf and edge moss. Those once again are in the sludgeon, so we're gonna have to pass on those. It's possible to get a little bit of them through certain rare enemy drops, but the vast majority of the time, the edge leaf, the edge shroom, edge moss, that's in the sludgeon. So that's stuff that I gotta progress into the sludgeon to be able to get. Bog bean, bladderwort stalk, and copper iris. I've already gotten all of that. Boop, boop, boop. So those are good to go. Kind of doing a quick mouse over for stuff. Make sure. Okay. So with the edge leaf and edge moss having to wait, edge shroom itself is going to have to wait. Flathead mushroom. Yeah. This is where the edge stuff is. I have one edge shroom gills just from killing one of the little mushroom guys. That's the only one I've got. So, flathead mushroom is the next one. Let's crunch that up while our alembic is going. Give that a crunch and move along. But yeah, apologies for this. You know, this is by intention is going to be a bit of a, you know, not as action-packed, a little bit of a slower episode, just because I gotta do all of this at some point, and I figure I'll get as much of this done in one episode that I can, and potentially brew an actual potion in this episode, just to get a lot of this kind of menial, grindy type work done, so that way you all won't have to watch it again. We've got our flathead mushroom. Our alembics are done. So let's do the testing. Belly rumbling. And that's it. Okay. So belly rumbling and glow slightly. So we got Ordonis and Selawin. Easily done. Flathead mushroom. That is going to go... Let's see. We are skipping 2. And then, excuse me, skipping 3, and then flathead mushroom. So, dried swamp reed, 1, 2, 3, flathead mushroom. Okay, let's get our aspects from the vials. Actually, let's go ahead and make some more vials real quick. Boop, and boop. I'm going to have to make some more rubber pretty soon. There we go. That away. I have a ton of green dendrothris from mining up all those weedwood tree stumps. Let's see. So 2. All right. Is this another? Yep, it's another situation where we have a full bottle and then overage. So there's a 5 bottle of Fearnalos. There's a 5 bottle. There's a 5 bottle, and then we have 3 bottles of 1.58. So, or 3.5, 1.58, pardon me. So yeah, we are not going to need to brew out any Fearnalos probably for a good while. So we'll just combine all of this up. There we go. So 3 full bottles of Fearnalos, 1 bottle of 4.73. Fergalos, F-E-R, Fearnalos, F-I-N. There we go. Okay. Let's see what we've got next. We've got a bunch of Ordonis and Selawin. I actually don't have any Ordonis or Selawin brewed out yet. So... let's go ahead and do that. Let's take our ground arrow arum and brew some out. We got our weedwood buckets. 1, 2, and 3. Fill it up with water. Give it a quick stir. Add our arrow arum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give it another stir. And we'll check our book while we wait. Okay. Golden club and then green middle gem. All right. We have some golden club, and then we'll go ahead and do our green middle gem. Let's do 8 of that. We are good. Let's go ahead and add a bit more water to our purifier here. And add the green middle gem ore. That's still going just fine. It is now green. And that means in just a second it's going to turn purple. We'll be able to get the aspect from it. Bubble, bubble, bubble. We'll check the life crystal as soon as this finishes brewing out. There we go. And there's our purple. Bloop, bloop, and bloop. Put our infusions in. Okay, and that's going. How's our life crystal doing? Life crystal's at 55%. It's plenty fine. It doesn't take much durability to stir this the number of times it needs. I still like to keep an eye on it just to be on the safe side. Okay. Golden club flower. Oh, just one thing. Okay, that's it. Very calm and looks at you with loving eyes. So this has a Morris desire. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that is good to know. So flathead mushroom, golden club flower. But that also means that we can brew some golden club along with the cardinal flower, brew like 3 of each to get a ton of Amaris out. And that way we don't have to rely on just the golden club flower, or we don't have to rely on just the cardinal flower for Amaris. Good to know. Okay, that is brewing. We've almost got the ground, or the green middle gems. Let's check the next thing. Hanger and leaf. Okay. Let's see, we have some... There's some leaf. There is some hanger. And there is some lichen. The stuff downwards. Eventually, I'm going to have enough stuff in here that I have to use this second chest for the ground aspect items. So the stuff that I haven't touched yet, I'm just going to move downwards. Okay. We have our hanger. Let's test that. Chewing furiously. Glowing slightly. And healthier gecko bursting with energy. Which means Hanger has Ordonis, Yeowin, and Balaris. Again, pretty common stuff, but that's okay. We're skipping one after Golden Club because that's the green gem. Golden Club. There's our Hanger. Let's go ahead and take our green middle gems. We'll grind those up. Test that out. Probably get our next set of aspects. And continue on. Stretch. But yes, I hope you all are doing well. Thank you also very much for all the comments that I've been getting on these most recent episodes. Thank you all, for all of the views that you've been giving. This is a series that I've been wanting to do for a while. And while I know it's only once a week, I'm hoping to eventually be able to get it to where I can do these more often. The day job being the day job makes having time to record and edit and upload these, let alone the kind of prep time of like going out and doing a few hours worth of gathering materials and so on. Once a week is sustainable. I would like for it to be more than that, but we'll get there eventually. In any case, we'll test our ground green middle gem here. Yeah. Scales seem to be rock hard. It can barely move. So just one. This is more Firgalas, Earth. Got it. So we have a ground green middle gem, ground hanger. I believe the next one is going to be our leaf. Oh, and our aspects are done. Okay, let me test the leaf real quick. We'll get our aspects. Let's see. Twitching. Chewing furiously. Oh, this one actually has 4. Okay, then. Oh, we had another gecko disappear on us. Poof, it is gone. Replaced with a new gecko. Boop. All right, there we go. And glowing slightly. Perfect. So this has 4. Ordonis, Azuin, Byaris, and Selwyn. Cool. Very small amounts of everything, pretty much. But that's okay. Let's see. Right there. Hanger, leaf. There's our leaf right there. Let's go ahead and get our aspects out. 2, 2, and 2. All right. What do we got? Selwyn and Ordonis. Nice. So Ordonis, Selwyn, Selwyn, and Selwyn. So it looks like 2.4, 3 bottles of 2.4 Selwyn, and 3 bottles of only 0.85 Ordonis. Not a lot of Ordonis in that, but any amount is better than none. So for a first brewing, not bad. Let's combine all of this up into just one bottle. There we go. We've got a bottle of 2.54 Ordonis. Then we'll combine all the Selwyn together. There we go. So we have a bottle of 5.0 Selwyn and a partial 2.19. And then we got a bottle of 2.54 Ordonis. Gotcha. Partial bottles. Let's move Yungalaz down by 2. Move Yeowin to here. Selwyn and Ordonis. Just kind of reorganizing these real quick. Oh, nope. B goes there. C goes here. Okay. And then Ordonis, Yeowin, Yungalaz. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and test our ground lichen. See what we get. Muscle twitching, chewing furiously, and glowing slightly. Okay, so Azuin, Ordonis, and Byaris once again. All right, we'll put that away. Let's see. We got about 10 to 15 more minutes left in the episode, give or take. I would like to try and go get some barnacles. Let me check through the aspects here, see if there's anything else that Ordonis and Selwyn. We just got that. Selwyn and Ordonis. Fear and a Loss. Freywin Vision. I don't have any Freywin, do I? Nope. Let's actually go ahead and brew out some Freywin. Go, some ground blue iris. Nope, we had another gecko disappear. Grab another gecko from the box, pop it in the cage. 1, 2, and 3. We're in the swamp water. Give it a stir. Put in our ground blue iris. While that is brewing up, let's actually go ahead and make something real quick. I'd like to start making some more of these Amate paper lanterns and using them to kind of light up the area. But unfortunately, you can't place the lantern like directly on the wall here. You have to place it onto something. What I'd like to see if I can do is make some of the hanging, the hanging ropes, the climbing ropes technically, and see if I can use it to kind of like hang the lanterns from. Now we haven't made any climbing ropes yet, but we can make them pretty easily with some reed rope. I'm keeping an eye on the potion here real quick just to make sure I don't miss it. There's our green smoke saying it's at temperature. Give it a stir just because we can. Grab our buckets, and it's now purple. So we'll grab our 3 buckets of the infusions, put them in the alembics, and we'll let those bubble away. Okay, so little test here. If we take our reed rope, we make some climbing rope, which is kind of neat. Let's make a quarter of a stack, and we'll play around with this because I haven't played around with the climbing rope. Let's see. I think you might have to place it hanging. So yeah, you can't place it on the side of a block. You most likely have to place it underneath a block, which is fine if that's the case. Let's grab a little bit of swamp dirt here just to... Yep, okay. So yeah, you can't even click on the side of a block. You have to specifically click on the underside. Or you can click on the rope itself and it extends downwards. Nice. Good to know. And then, if you just walk into it, you climb it. Just like a ladder. You do have to be careful. You will kind of slide off of it pretty easy. Interesting. But can I take the climbing rope and then put a lantern? Yes, you can. Okay. I like that. That looks nice. The rope from the lantern doesn't quite match the rope from the climbing rope itself, but I could easily use this to kind of like hang some lanterns around the base. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine. Okay, good to know. So next episode, this area will probably be lit up a lot more, just to make it easier to see. Okay, that's very good to know. I like it. I will make use of it. Let's go ahead. Let's put away our bottles for right now. Actually, no. I want to hang on to the bottles because I got to grab this stuff from the Olympics. What was the next thing I wanted to do? Let me take a look at my list here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and set that up real quick. The next thing I want to do is let's grab the life crystal out of here. I want to purify some dirt so I can start making some farmland. I'm not going to really get into... Actually, I'll wait on the farmland until next time, just because I'm going to be heading out in just a moment. I need to step away for just a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let these alembics finish. We're going to grab the aspects from them, and then we're going to finish off by being over in the deep water area and collecting some barnacles. So I will be right back. There we go. All right, we're back. We have our last bit of aspects brewed out here, so let's go ahead and collect that. Just one aspect. It's all right. Makes it easy. What do we got? We have 4.23 of Freywind, which is vision. Very nice. So we'll go ahead and combine all these up. Pour a little bit into there. It's not going to take much to complete this bottle. Same with this one. Okay. So 2 bottles of Freywind. Or 2 full bottles of Freywind, I should say. And then 1 partial bottle. Let's go ahead and move this stuff down. Again, I will reorganize. I'll reorganize this stuff off camera. Fernglass, Fearnalas, Freywin. Okay, 5.0, 5.0, 2.68. We'll go ahead and put away the rest of the bottles since we don't have any more of that to grab. We'll put away our book. I'll grab a few between stone pebbles. Okay. So, it is quite storming out, as you can see. It is a very, very wet and rainy time, but that's all right. Like I said, when I was out previously, I had found some barnacles. Again, did not touch them, but just marked them real quick. That way I would know where they were. So I'm going to head on over there. I'm going to record the whole way, and if something interesting happens, cool. If not, then I will meet you over there. But yeah, let's go get some more stuff from under the water and get some barnacles. We probably won't be able to play with the barnacles right now, but next time we will. So off we go. Oh, I left my door open. How dare I leave the front door open? Okay, off we go. All right, this should be close enough. We are careful here. But yeah, some barnacles are right off in the distance there. We're here once again at the kind of deep water, deep ocean area. We're going to put on the amphibious armor just to make it much easier to see. And let's go swim and see if we can find those barnacles. Now, it doesn't take any specific tool to collect said barnacles. So you can just do it by hand. We're going to try and avoid the anglerfish if we can. You know, we can still fight them in the armor we're wearing. Speaking of anglerfish, hi there. Yep. Head and take care of that one. All right. So here, as we can see, we have barnacle clusters that are ready to harvest. So, right-clicking them does nothing. I believe you just break them with your hand, like so. And there we go. Bountiful barnacles. I get some barnacle flesh and some barnacle larvae. Now you use the larva, place it on the side of a block underwater, and it creates a newly established barnacle cluster. That way you can use that to just continuously regrow barnacles. I will be creating a little bitty farm area back at center base to grow barnacles, so I don't have to keep going out here a bunch of times to get some. But, you know, might as well replant at least a little bit of what I find out here. Let's see how many barnacles we can harvest. There's plenty of them, which is nice. Go ahead and get this one. This one. Okay, 3 barnacle larvae. Very nice. Reading the wiki on these, if you attach these to, I believe it is tarred hearthgrove wood, tarred hearthgrove log blocks, they'll actually grow a lot faster. We haven't played around with the hearthgrove at all. I do still have to go and collect some, but I will definitely look to do that as my method of getting more, because you can do a few things with the barnacles. You can, of course, cook them just as you can with most foods in the Betweenlands. You can smoke them to have some better food, and you can also, there we go. You can also use them in certain brews. which are actually going to be for the different brews that are available. The brews that have barnacle in it is not bad. It actually restores like 2 saturation versus most of the brews only restoring like 0.2. Oh, hi there. I heard a sound, looked over, saw a long appendage heading towards me. I'm like, okay, I know what this is. It's a rock snot. That's fine. Just taking a look around, see if hi, big fish. Seeing if I see any more barnacles here. They do only grow underwater. Oh, that barnacle cluster that we put on there earlier is already starting to mature. Neat. Let's check underwater over here. Yep. I know. Oh, you are... That one is stuck in the block. I can't attack it. So we're just gonna kind of swim away. It's actually stuck inside the yellow coral there. So because of that, because its hitbox is meshed with the coral, we can't attack it. So let's not and say we didn't and simply move along. Hi. Bunch of lurkers going after the big fish there. All right. Swim on over to next big rock pillar. Hey, it's daytime. Daytime means we can see. At least a lot easier. For you and for me. Yeah. All right. I don't see any more barnacles at the moment. Again, I would like to start a farm of them eventually, which is why I'm out collecting some right now. I hope to eventually have like a bunch growing at the same time. That way, if I happen to need more barnacle flesh, I can just go harvest a bunch and call it good. This is also where I've been gathering a lot of the... There we go. I've been gathering a lot of the kind of golden coral. You'll also see a lot of the blue coral that's around. Hey, more barnacles. Along with all these water weeds. I came out here off camera when I was just kind of gathering some of the swamp kelp, gathering a lot more of the bog bean flowers and stuff. I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and get the mire coral and stuff while I'm out here. And then I saw the deep water coral, the blue stuff. And then I started seeing the barnacle clusters. I'm like, hey, finally! Because I knew there was going to be a bunch of these not bog beans, but bladderworts. Apologies. I knew there was a bunch of these bladderworts out here in the deep water, so I figured I'd just come out here to collect a bunch, and then managed to find the barnacles. So, very happy. Very, very happy to find that, to be able to start interacting with another material, which is always good. Okay. Kill that rock snot. Move along. Starting to mature, newly established. Early development. Okay. I think that's all of the full and ready to go barnacles out here. I just happened to see that one set when I was out here, put the, threw the marker down and continued on. But that is still a very nice amount to start off with. Lots and lots and lots of deep water, which is very nice. Yep, anglerfish. They're nibbling my toesies. Let's get to a spot where I can hop out of the water here. Yep, I know. I know. So dangerous. Much danger. There we go. I don't want my armor to get too busted. It's starting to get kind of broken as is. I do not want it to break. There we go. So we got some barnacle larvae to grow our own. We got some barnacle flesh to be able to play around with new recipes. Where are we at the map? We're right here. Haven't really done much exploring this way. Let's swim on over, see if we see anything else interesting. Yes, I hear you, Rock's not trying to grab me. I hear ya. I'll just see if we see any more like of the big dungeons or idle heads or anything. Oh! Well, would you look at that? Hi, little dude. It's just a little dude boating. It's just a little guy. Look at him. Hi. I'm just gonna come over here so I can watch you. I'm not gonna interact with you. But yeah. See a little dude boating around. That's neat. Right there. There's a little man. Can I get closer to get a better view of him? Swim over to here. Yep. Oh, I think I scared him. Either that or he's scared of the fish. He's just chilling there. I don't know if you can interact with him. I gotta look that up. I don't remember off the top of my head because these guys are new to me as part of, you know, going from SevTech to now. You could hear the little guys playing the flutes and violins and stuff out and about, but these guys actually going around boating is new. So that's neat. Looks like he's got like a little fishing net or something underneath. Okay, that's cool. I like that. But yeah, no other structures or anything I'm seeing here. Well, I'm gonna leave him to his fishing. I don't want to disturb him. I'm gonna swim onwards a little bit and probably just call this episode done. I'll have to take the I'll take the barnacle flesh back to base, and we'll be able to play around with it next time, cooking up some recipes and such, working on the farm. Again, got a lot more materials to brew with, got a lot more aspects to learn. Just seeing if I see any other points of interest while I'm out. Lots of barnacles growing now, which is awesome. Very good to see that those are like actively growing. Oh, yep. I see you trying to snag me. I'm just gonna swim along. Oh, it's one of the bigger weedwood trees. Nice. Got all the hangers with the pear seeds and stuff. Hello, swamp hag. And kill this swamp hag so it doesn't surprise me. Yep, this is one of the giant weedwood trees. At least I'm pretty sure it is, given its size. Which means most likely it has a pyrad nearby, and I'd rather not anger it if possible. Okay, cool. Again, I'm very glad that I came out here to take a look at this. See an enemy right here. Oh, it's another swamp hag. Hi, swamp hag. There we go. That's a pretty view, having the nice big tree like that. I like that. Okay. But yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and call the episode good here. We did a lot of aspect testing, a good amount of aspect brewing, Still got a lot more ingredients to get, a lot more ingredients to try. But we made some significant progress today. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day. And good game.
Barnacles!